for this Conor versus Prograis, how do you see this fight going? And who, obviously, look, you're saying Conor Benn has to win, but do you think, are you giving Regis Prograis any chance at all in this fight? Considering he's coming up for 140 pounds and also he's 37 age.
Yeah, you got to take all of that into consideration. The thing is, Conor Benn is the younger, fresher fighter. He's more ferocious. He's more faster. You know, he's probably got the quicker hands. Regis Prograis has seen better days, let's be honest, right? The only advantage here is that Regis Prograis has experience and he's a southpaw. That is the only advantage. Conor Benn is much faster. He's going to be throwing a whole bunch of shots in there. We know the way Conor Benn fights, right? He has a a wide stance, and that is to generate power and to knock his opponents out. And that's the way he fights. So the way I see this fight going is Conor Benn coming in from round one and looking to set about Regis Prograis. His ambition is to knock Regis Prograis out as soon as possible. That's what Conor Benn will looking to do. You know, come behind the jab, throw that right hand down the pipe, because he's a southpaw. And, you know, when orthodox fighters are in over southpaw, one of the money punches for an orthodox fighter is a right hand down a pipe to a southpaw. So Conor Benn would know that that is a shot that he can take. And if Regis Prograis' legs are gone, the way I think they are, because he's 37 and he's been through some wars, if he cannot move his legs away from that right hand down a pipe shot, then he's going to get nailed with that shot. But if he can do that, if he can survive the first 5 rounds where Conor Benn is on fire, and if he can take Conor Benn into a bit of the latter rounds in this fight and really make it difficult, make it awkward, and you know, make it difficult for Conor Benn to sort of have any success in the latter rounds, then his experience will come up on top in this fight. That's how I see. I see Conor Benn just come, you know, in the earlier rounds, just looking to establish his jab, his right hand, his power, and his dominance on the older fighter. But if Regis Prograis can just hang in there, overcome the pressure, soak up the pressure, and take this fight a bit later on in the second half of the fight, then he can have more success. But the honest truth is, I think Conor Benn at some point, you know, will win this fight. But I think it's going to be a fight where he wins on points and Regis Prograis uses experience to just really take the sting out of Conor Benn's shots. And, you know, the speed that Conor Benn is going to come with, I think Regis Prograis will just take the sting out of that and make it into a boring fight. And it's going to be a boring win for Conor Benn. Let's put it that way, because I don't think he'll be able to overcome Regis Prograis with that experience. But look, this is why boxing is the best sport in the world. You know, predictions are all predictions. We will see on the night how Regis Prograis reacts to the way Conor Benn will come with his sort of ammunition and the way he would like to take him down. But it's an interesting fight, but I think it's going to be a boring win for Conor Benn in this situation.
Yeah, man, I think I'm in agreement with you. No, I'm in agreement with you. I think Conor Benn is going to get a win. There's a reason why they cherry-picked Regis Prograis. Do you know what I mean? He's 37. He's at the back end of his career. Do you know what I mean? His legs are gone. He's slower now. So I think Conor Benn, he will take that confidence from the Eubank Jr., the rematch, where he boxed really well. He moved well. His jab was crisp. You know, he showed some, like, do you know what I mean, some good boxing in that fight. And I think the fact that Regis Prograis has operated at 140 pounds, is the smaller guy coming up. I think you see a big advantage to Conor Benn just for that, which I think, you know, is a bit of a double standard for Conor Benn after, you know, what he did to Chris Eubank Jr. But I'm going for a Conor Benn stoppage, man. I think it'll be a late stoppage, round about round 8 to round 9. I think it's going to be competitive early on because Regis Prograis is a very good boxer. He's got great boxing skills and it's going to make it harder for Conor Benn in the early rounds. But I think eventually the size and the power, the ferociousness, like you said, from Conor Benn is going to come up on top. And I see Conor Benn knocking him out, stopping him, you know, in the 8th to 9th round of that fight. So I'm going for a Conor Benn win as well.
Yeah. Stoppage is definitely on a card for Conor Benn. But I said, he's a younger, fresher fighter, right?
Yeah.
Regis Prograis' legs are gone. He's not the same anymore. So could Conor Benn land something and stop Regis Prograis? Absolutely. But I just see this fight going in his place where Regis Prograis will frustrate Conor Benn and will use his ring craftness and his ability to just take the sting out of Conor Benn's pressure and just make it into a boring fight. But look, let's see how it plays out. Conor Benn, this is his opportunity. He has to look good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everybody looks at him and go, what are you doing? What are you really? So this is it. He has to show. He has to show what he's got.
Now, okay, we go with our prediction. Let's say our predictions come true. Conor Benn goes in there, great performance. He go and he stops Regis Prograis. What next for Conor Benn after that? Who would you like to see Conor Benn fight?
I think, there's a few fights on the cards. They want to make the Ryan Garcia fight, right? They want to make.
Can Ryan Garcia happen with Zuffa Boxing and the WBC and IBF?
That is the problem.
Not that is a problem because that's another obstacle. Isn't it? You see what they've done to Jao Pataya.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? And I'm not sure because
that's the thing.
We've seen the Jao Pataya situation, right, where he's been stripped, and I don't think Jao Pataya is going to get any of the big fights because none of those guys want to work with Zuffa Boxing. So
they're not going to risk it.
Of course, Shakur Stevenson is the WBC champion now, isn't he? Yeah, he is the WBC champion.
Yeah.
He took that away from what's his name?
At 147.
Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, Teofimo Lopez. Ryan Garcia, was he the WBA champion now? The BBO?
No, hold on.
The WBA champion. He just beat what's his name?
WBC's Shakur Stevenson.
WBC champion, yeah. Shakur Stevenson is the BBC champion. Ryan Garcia is also the BBC champion. Yeah. So the WBC do not want to work with Zuffa Boxing. They don't want to work with Dana White because Dana White has come to disrupt things. Dana White does not recognize other sanctioning bodies. So the other sanctioning bodies do not recognize Dana White. So I don't know where Conor Benn goes from here, even if he wins this fight. Because I think it's going to be really difficult to get, Shakur Stevenson or, Ryan Garcia in the ring. So they're going to have to fight somebody else that is not ranked in the other, or that is not a champion in the other with the other sanctioning body. So I'm not sure. It's very uncertain. And it's a good question that you asked there because it is very uncertain what Conor Benn does. But if anything, they won the bigger fights. They won the big fights next. The bigger fight. That's what they want next. And I hope it happens because I think Ryan Garcia or Shakur Stevenson, they're both better fighters than Conor Benn. And I hope that fight happens so we can see what Conor Benn is made of. But I'm not sure if it happens because of the situation with Zuffa Boxing. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a sticky one because unless Zuffa Boxing and the other sanctioning bodies can come to some sort of agreement, then the likes of Jao Pataya and Conor Benn are stuck. They're stuck, because they won't be able to fight for no championship belts because the sanctioning bodies won't sanction the fight. So then, it's all about the money now. You go to Zuffa, you get big money, but you can forget about the established belts that are available out there.
Yeah, but the problem is nobody really recognized the Zuffa belt. Like, nobody cares about the belt.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, if Jao Pataya is now Zuffa belt or Zuffa champion in cruiserweight.
Oh yeah, by the way, Bright. Shakur Stevenson, he's the WBO champion at 140 pounds. Ryan Garcia, WBC champion, 147.
Okay, yeah. So Conor Benn is not going to get any of those opportunities because none of those guys want to work with Zuffa Boxing.
No.
Right? If you win a Zuffa belt, what does it mean? What respect do you get? Right? So who is going to put their status on the line just to fight for a Zuffa belt and then be ostracized by the other sanctioning bodies? Who's going to do that? Right? That's a question for these guys that are ranked right now. Who is going to say, you know what? I'm going to fight Conor Benn and throw my chances with the other sanctioning bodies out of the window and just go. And after Conor Benn, what happens with your career? Where do you go from there? So that is the question. That's the question then.
And he's 29 years of age. He's 29. Yeah. He has to get going, man.
And a lot of fighters don't want to make that decision right now. So I'm not sure that Conor Benn gets which big fight he gets after this, given the situation that Zuffa Boxing have put themselves and their fighters in. And Jao Pataya is in that bracket as well. It's a difficult situation. It's unfortunate, but it's a difficult situation.
Unless they sort something out very soon, then the likes of Jao Pataya, you know, FA Jagbar, everyone that's signed to Zuva Boxing getting decent money, mate, you're not fighting for the traditional belt. And the Zufa boxing belt at the moment has no prestige to it. Do you know what I mean? It's basically like going to McDonald's and getting a toy with your Happy Meal.
I saw someone comment on a video that is a plastic belt or something.
It doesn't really
a Happy Meal toy.
It doesn't really mean anything, but
it doesn't mean anything.